Oh, hey there. It is your guy, me, Alex, the guy, Land Vista Aquascapes. We are out here in Morristown, New Jersey, at one of our favorite ponds. This is the big guy. This is where I've gone live on Facebook several times. There's impatiens that are usually throughout this entire pond, so I'm sure you've seen a couple live videos of this because I like to go live every time that I'm here just to show the progress. But we are out here, our first clean out of the season, getting this pond all nice and ready for the koi that are taking up residence at our shop at the moment, cleaning out their home so that they can go back. As you can tell, plenty of string algae. Again, not a sign of an unhealthy ecosystem. It's just Mother Nature coming back to balance everything out. Also, because there's no fish in there, there's a lot more algae growth because they're not here eating it. But you can also see some of these suds. So the reason why there's suds in here is because this overflow over here, right there, that guy goes all the way out to the middle of the yard over here. So right there's a little pop-up drain. And unfortunately, when that was installed, I can't remember exactly who did it, whether it was when we did it or the landscaper, it got tied into the drain line for the washing machine. So you can see all of that soapy water right here. They actually had to cut this line because what was happening during the winter was that overflow drain was tied into this, and then the pop-up drain right there, that guy was freezing and it was preventing water from actually draining, and the soap line, or the soap from the washer, was actually backing up into the pond. So as you can see here, there's still some remnants, even though they fixed it about a month and a half ago. There's still definitely some remnants of soap in this pond, so we're going to do our best to scoop out as much of this algae, drain all the water out, and get a good deep flush in this thing to make sure that there's no more soap in it. But as always, we'll keep you posted throughout the day. Go live on Facebook a couple times, and that sort of thing. Oh, there, look, there's Phil.
How you doing? I got the cheese.
And there's Brandon. Oh, right, and we got Abby, and we got Joe over there, and
Raymond.
yeah, my father. Look, there he is. He's coming. He's got a bucket.
Yeah, look at it.
All right, what do you got going over here, Pops?
I am flushing
New York.
our wetland filter.
Okay. So we're taking the pond water and we're flushing down all of the larger debris into the bottom of the wetland, and then we've got another clean out pump that's going all the way to the back of the yard. It's about 150 feet worth of hose. It's not actually an exaggeration. It is about 150 feet worth of hose to make it all the way back there, because everywhere else in this yard floods. So that is the path of least resistance all the way in the back. But we like to use the clean out pumps, utilizing the water in the pond, just to get a good flush in this. Because there's a little bit of soapiness still in the pond, we're actually going to do this and get a pretty good big flush, and then we'll go back with the hose and hose it down again just to get a finishing flush and make sure that everything is out. As you can see, we've been running for probably like 30-45 minutes, and this is where we're down to. So definitely going to take quite a while to drain this pond, but fortunately, since there's only one fish, we'll be able to just throw the hose on and have the homeowner shut that off. So ordinarily we wouldn't want the homeowner to be monitoring the hose. We like to have everything running before we leave. But being as we had planned on there not being any fish here, we are going to let this fill up on its own, have the homeowner shut that off. Like I said, we don't usually like to do that because we just want to make sure that everything is still running and that we leave it functional rather than putting that responsibility on the homeowner. You know, start to finish, we are here for all of those steps. But yep, still just going through, getting some good flushes. My dad has now moved on to the other waterfall. Gonna get a nice big flush on that. And as you can see, that's all running back into the pond. And then once we get everything flushed, everything will just go all the way out to the back of the yard. All right, so we are about halfway through. We've got the whole pond all drained. I'm actually standing in the bottom section, which is about 3 feet deep. We've got a clean out pump right below me, right here, draining all the water out that we're flushing. So you can see Phil over here flushing the one waterfall. So we'll let that all run down to the pump, and then pump it out to the back. And we've pressure washed all of the rocks to get that layer of string algae out. The way that this pond is constructed also means that because there's 2 different deep sections, we have to have a clean out pump in both so that as everything's flowing down, it gets pumped out at the same time. That's just because this was actually built as an extension to the pond. And instead of having the deep section go all the way through, we did a shallow section in this middle part. There is also a cave that runs from here all the way back to this area right here and then stops. Unfortunately, it doesn't go all the way through, but there is a nice gigantic cave over here that we have a little broken down just so we could get into the back of it and flush it. But that's where we're at now. Got Joe flushing on this side. My dad's putting the pumps back into the vault and rocking and rolling. The other thing that's super important to note that we do during clean out season, very, very important to do this time of year, is we are checking all of the lights in the pond. So this pond has somewhere between like 20 and 30 lights in it. About half of them are color changing, so you can see that. A couple of the lights, we have them set to purple right now just so that they're easy to spot. We want to make sure that they're all set correctly, none of them have gotten loose, and make sure that all of them are still functioning. If they're not, it's the perfect time of the year, since we have everything drained, that we can just take those lights, resplice a new one in, and then it'll be good for the rest of the season. They do come with warranties, so they have a 3-year warranty that they come with. If we installed them, we absolutely will replace them with a brand new light under warranty. If not, absolutely something that we can still do. We keep them on the truck so that we have that ability to do them. And we can also add lights at this time, which is, again, great time to do that because we already have the pond all drained down. Easier to put them in while there's no water in the pond than it is to try to install lights underwater, which is next to impossible. couple of the lights that I reset. Got this one right here. I put a little bit of a bead of foam in there just to hold all those rocks in there so it's not loose. And then this one in here I tucked back. This we have like a little koi hot tub, so we've got the air bar right here connected to the Pro Air 60. So this cranks out a ton of bubbles, and it's right in front of that light, so it creates this real cool hot tub effect. And basically going around stuff like this, where this one shit's loose, this can get tucked back into this corner, and we'll set a couple rocks in it. And same thing all the way around in here. Like I said, a ton of lights in here, so we've got a nice big 6-watt color changing in there, or 8-watt, whatever they like to call them. Another light up on there. All that good stuff. And you can see all that water running down into the base of the cave and running down to our clean out pump so they can get pumped out. Okay, so like I was explaining earlier, this is the perfect time to do replacement of lights. So got a brand new 3-watt. I'm actually replacing a 1-watt up light that was completely out, and we've got the hot wires right here. Since it's low voltage wiring, not super dangerous to be doing it while the power's still on. So you just want to separate your wires, fray them out a little bit, and then same thing with these on the new light. Separate them, strip them, fray the wires out a little bit. There are quick connects on them. We usually don't use the quick connects just because they do have somewhat of a failure chance. This is just a little bit more secure. It's a little easier because you can shorten up your wires and everything. I'm going to leave this bundle of wire just because I do have to go pretty far with it. But you just take these, lay them down on top of your new wires one at a time. So take them, twist them together. You can braid them. I've been made fun of in the past for braiding them. It's a little bit more secure, but it does take longer. As you can see, as soon as they touch, the light comes on. You just twist them. As long as you're not touching both sides together, you won't get electrocuted. And even if you do, it's only 12 volts. So then you got your 2 twisted wires, and then you use these Drycon connectors. These are a little big for connecting Chet's 2 wires, but they'll work nonetheless. And you just push them on there. They have a little bit of like Vaseline on the inside. And then you just twist them till they lock, so you can feel them tighten down right there. Same thing with the second one. Twist them on.
That's cool.
Keep going until it tightens down. Then we're going to take this light and we're going to go turn it on. And we're actually going to tuck it right into this little space right here. So tuck it back into this little corner. I'll set that a little bit better off camera, but you get the idea. We're going to tuck it in here so that way it lights up this whole wetland area. Let me pause this real quick. Okay, so now you can see I've got the light set back in that little nook in there, and then the wire is still exposed, but I started to hide it up in this crack. And then you've got your splice right here, which will also hide, and that's going to light up this whole area in here, hit that log, so it's going to look real nice at night. We've got these accent up colored up lights that are going to hit this log and look real cool. We also usually put some tropicals in here during the springtime, so they'll get moved around. I usually use them inside of the planters just to have a nice little pop of color up here. But that 3-watt is going to make an immense difference back in here because it does usually get really, really dim up in this area. Even though the pond, you can see from space, this area is usually a little bit dark. We've also got our smart thermometer right here, so currently unplugged, but we've got the probe all the way in the bottom of the pond so we can get an accurate reading of the pond's temperature. We also have one in the intake, just to have two of them to be able to compare between the two. But we're going to take this guy and plug it in back here just so it's out of the way. Instead of being, for the winter, it was plugged in on the patio over there with that candy cane cord. You can see right there. So just gonna move it so it's out of the way. Okay, so the smart thermometer also does come with its own little quick connect guy. So if you unscrew this, there is a quick connect on that. You can connect that into your regular landscaping lights. The problem with that is it will turn off every time that the timer goes off. So I'm just gonna use this little plug that into this outlet, which is just an extra outlet that we use during the winter for the heaters. So just plug that guy in here, nice and snug, and then you can see the readout. So currently that's the air temperature since there's no water in the pond. It's 45.4 degrees right now, and then we just have to hide this wire. So we'll just wrap that around the back side of this and it'll be nice and secure. All right, so we're just about wrapping up today. We are currently filling the pond, so I'll get you a better shot of that, but you can see that bottom shelf is pretty much full. Flip you around. I'm filling the wetland right now just so that this is full and, you know, all that beneficial bacteria doesn't dry out in the time that we are not here. Like I said in the beginning of this video, we are going to let the homeowner continue to let this fill and then plug this guy back in. But we are about probably a third of the way filled in the pond.
Yeah?
What? Yeah.
My name?
Ha ha ha. Checked all the lights, they all look good. This angle is a good place to be able to see those because we always point them away from the main viewing area. So standing on the opposite side, definitely a good space to be able to see all of those lights, even during the daytime, to see if they're dim or out or anything like that. But as you can see, all that string algae all removed. We've got the single fish that made it through the winter hanging out in this section of the pond. Plenty of space for just him. And then got the intake over here, nice and clean. So we're gonna let this fill. We're gonna clean up the rest of the stuff that we've got and then head back to the shop and hopefully put up a greenhouse today. So what are those things that I say every time? It's been a while. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, because I appreciate genuine feedback. I don't want you to just slap a like on here because you didn't like this video. Hit that subscribe button to see more of our videos and hit the bell to be notified when we actually post new videos. So that's a really cool feature that YouTube has. If you're not familiar with that, it's a little bell button next to this subscribe. So that'll actually send you notifications straight to your phone when we post new videos. And leave us a comment down below if you have any comments on this project or have any questions about this in particular. And certainly stay tuned because we will be posting another video about this project when we bring the koi back, because this is the soap pond. Very interesting story, and it's been a mystery for a couple years. So we definitely want to update you on that, and certainly will be doing that when we bring the fish back. And obviously stay tuned on our Facebook for live updates. And that's all I've got for today. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone.